They'll be calling you a radical. So I've made it home. First off, thank you to everyone who supported this cause, prayed for the sea, prayed for me, everybody's prayers that I've been in. Been through a lot this 6 years, but whoa, talk about get freaking intensified. Wow, all the things I've done in my life, and I've done a lot of intense stuff. There ain't nothing even comes comparison to that. Splitting your chest open, doctor holding your heart in his hand inside, sewing for 5.5 hours. Coming out of that experience, I don't know how people do it. The ICU. So let's get to the salmon numbers. Let's get to Hanford. Let's get to the lies of the American populace. Has been socially engineered into believing that nuclear reactors, nuclear meltdowns, and everything are nothing. They don't exist. It's Godzilla. It's fairy tale. It's science fiction. Science fiction economics. It doesn't even exist. You should pray for a lot for it. Sure do have incredible private security around them all. Sure do pay billions to keep them away as so-called terrorists. Well, the government's the terrorists. You know, this country was based on no monarchies, no monarchies. Now it's all wannabe monarchies. Trump is Obama. Trump is Obama. He's inside. You seen this production? He really thinks he's a monarchy, this creep. You know, this country used to take monarchs apart. I mean, destroy them. Remember what the monarchs did, the English family that he kissed their asses related to? Do you know anything about the prison ships? Huh. Our forefathers all rolling over in their grave. As this is all inevitable, it's human beings. Oh, really? Then why did they live for hundreds of thousands of dollars in harmony with the salmon, with the sequoias, with the buffalo, with all that? No, it's this group, this batch of Europeans, Asians who moved across this land. These poisons. Look what the land's named after. America? America Vespucci? He makes freaking Christopher Columbus look like a church mouse. One of the greatest mass murders in human history. Oh, you speak American. I don't think he spoke the Queen's English. He was Italiano. Fucking the Spanish fucking Queen's fucking #1 murderer. Fucking for their gold and their tanks and their bombs and their timber. Fucking now the sea. So the salmon. This is the scumbags of the fucking liars on the Copper River. Copper River opened yesterday. So we called the famous restaurant, Tim and I. Tim talked to him again today. How many did you get in? 3. What? 3. They had one big one. One 22-pounder, I believe. 1 8 and 1 6. You know, we started laughing. How much? $60 a pound. You know, we're cooking it up. So it's being reported, oh, they caught 1,800 fish on opening day. They've set the numbers in the lows. They shouldn't have freaking, because last year they caught 1,500. Well, let's remember last year opening day was a winter storm from hell. #1. And you know how low that number is? You know how pathetic? So you can track it, and we'll start tracking the Copper River now like we have the Columbia. And they're not going to get away with it because we're going to be all over them. I'm all over the Army Corps Engineers, all over these line rats. We're watching. Oh, we can't put the live cam on because, you know, like I said, I called them. I says, I found a GoPro on eBay for $50 with built-in Wi-Fi. Underwater GoPro. Do we need to come install it? I'll hire a scuba diver. I mean, they have the sonar, just like the gill netting. They don't have to gill net. Sonar counts every fish. So the number was actually inside the copper yesterday for the day was 1,100. How low is that? Pathetic. Last year was 1,200, which was a pathetic number. Let's remember we go from an estimate of 1.7 million. They came in at 800,000. Now remember, this is by number. Now we can walk all the way down. The Fraser, right there in British Columbia, they're being hammered the hardest. Of all the direct line, Fukushima, the plutonium gas hammering the hardest. There's 3 fish in the Fraser. 3. Last year, I mean, it all epically started to collapse on the springers 5 years ago. The pinks have been having their cycle, whatever, but they go to sea for 5 years. I mean, this is a catastrophe. A hardcore catastrophe. You can't argue, I mean, because you put this in correlation with my other work. You know, the marine biologists, all these scumbags that get paid, make huge money. UCLA, you know, Cal Berkeley, Oregon State, Oregon, they're all captured scumbags. Look at my work on the tide pools. I found these in the Carmel tide pools, by the way. So, Carlsbad, you know, they're all dead. Post Fukushima. The starving, oh, Bob, you know, you think it's hilarious? This baby sea lion crossed the road in San Diego, crawled up into a restaurant to order chili. Why'd the sea lion cross the road in Washington? Ooh, look, look. There's orcas in the spring when they are at the mouth of the Columbia killing baby freaking gray whales because gray whales are so inebriated they're giving birth at Monterey, 1,000 miles north. Isn't that cool to be able to watch the top predator? Guys like that should be fucking hung. These people should be hung. These are marine biologists say the sharks at San Onofre, the circling 15. Oh, there's lots of. Well, you fucking. What's the matter with you dumb fuckers' brains? Look at the data. Fish. I mean, I've been right there. I talked to fishermen hundreds of times all up and down this coast. They're not catching anything. Look it up. Anchovies and sardines have been in fucking 99% collapse for 4 fucking years. Food to excellent fucking lunatic liars. They just sit and collect your money off your taxes. Send your kid. I mean, what a scam. Every one of these marine biologists, these reporters, these people that have played ball with the nuclear crime syndicate, you know, just like the monarchies. We fought against marketers. Anybody, you know, what was the motto in the United States? Any royal will be strung up in this country, and anybody who freaking espouse or supports the royal strung up. That's how America, the United States of America was formed. I mean, FDR, I'll quote it, to that scumbag CIA freaking, fucking Scotland Yard rat, Churchill. You got to tell you, Winston, we're taking all monarchies in this world, every one of them, including Mother England. They're done. No monarchies. Done. All of them. Well, you're flying right in the face of freaking Mother Old England and whatever. Yeah. I got to tell you, Winston, I went to London when I was a boy. I was 11. I saw Queen Victoria. I hated the old witch. There's nothing more quintessentially the United States of America to hate monarchies. And Winston Churchill, you're flying in the face of everything we believe, but if I don't play ball with you, we go down like the czars. They're one royal family. Look up who the heir. I want you to look up who the heir is. Look it up. Look it up. And if you believe that story that Putin is a commoner from St. Petersburg, I have a bridge I want to sell you. These scumbags, it's the same old theme, 1916, with their tanks and their bombs and their guns. It's the same monarch, but this time they went too far. Their biggest tool, the fucking banksters, the insurance criminals, the nuclear crime syndicate. Why do you think they pushed so hard? They got this piece of shit in India by watch them fight in India. It's like they thought they had them fought in Taiwan. You know how many activists, anti-nuclear activists, given their life in Taiwan? You know how many have given their life in South Korea? You know how many have given their life in India? I know for a fact they've killed 84 so-called academians that stood up against them. 84. Including when I was in Vienna 2 years ago, they killed one. I mean, these are the evilest freaking crime syndicate in the history of mankind. You know, it's like when I was a young kid, and I was involved in the anti-nuclear movement as a young boy, and I was the environmentalist. You know, talk about having your heart ripped out, being an environmentalist in the last 50 years in this country. Watching the tundras land here where I grew up, the wells in San Diego, I mean, up and down. Seeing a starfish, I mean, they still take my breath away. You know, the one that I found in Monterey. I remember one of the old activists, one of the strong ones, told me, he says, you take on and be an environmentalist. You take on and be an anti-nuclear, you'll be running uphill your entire life. You do understand that. And I remember when I got to be a teenager, I was really a huge Bob Seger fan. Way up firm and high. Because I'm still the same. When One Against the Wind came out, that song, I had a real beautiful young girlfriend. We were just, 19, she was 17. And we'd listen to records. That's what we did in those days with flowers in our hair. Loved the environment, loved the animals. Showed up to every rally there ever was. We learned from our mentors. We understood how evil this product is. We understood it. It's not there to make energy. It's there to make bombs, nuclear waste, and shake down and loot, to threaten. It's a scam. Hiroshima and Nagasaki started this cover-up. Hanford, on their clothing, they're saying now, on their clothing. Oh, no worry for alarm. When these gamma rays can go through 15 feet of stainless steel, they go through 30 feet of concrete, but oh, no, your shirt's going to protect you. Yeah, about like your shirt protected me from that. My skin did save me. And I remember when Against the Wind came out. I love that album. I play it, against the wind line. Remember when I was thinking when I was young, if you stay this path, and I remember my girlfriend, we were together, had a child together. She's like, when we got a little older, we're together a long time. You're still fronting against the wind. I heard that song today and I started to cry. I don't think anybody can understand. Well, the people that have stood by my side and been with me, my traveling, this valve was gone. So I'm in the hospital and the caseworker come in and talked to me. And I says, look, I've been in 5 emergency rooms last year. One guy told me I'm bleeding all over, bleeding out of my face and my nose, my teeth are going. I knew it was my heart. I told him, he says, go see your dentist because I'd been blocked. Mike Lee, who got $600,000 in a bank bailout, never paid, look it up, never made a payment on his house. One of the biggest liars who ever lived, who, by the way, I asked about Fukushima to his face. And he told me to get back to me in a couple of days. He was going to talk to Wyden, the second biggest liar. It's online. No one seems to give a fuck. She says, I read your story in your path. You were rich when you got sick. She says, oh my God, you were in that bone marrow transplant? I've read your whole path. And then out of the blue, you kicked your whole thing? She says, oh my God, you should be, you're a book. It's been, and then she was talking, and this is a woman who's been there for years and years and years. And she started to cry. And I says, yeah, think about how many of me there are. Construction workers, guys who work with their hands and their skill, women who clean beds and did whatever. And people like Trump exploit labor over and over and says we hate freaking exploited labor when they're the ones who manufactured. It's like when Reagan and Bush manufactured the war on drugs, manufactured fucking gang wars, manufactured violence for their own profiteering. You know, the thing we fought against the hardest as so-called Americans, United States of America. We're not royals. We don't believe in inherited wealth. She started to cry. I says, yeah, how many of us are there? I mean, I pick up those obituaries every day and I see people I knew that were perfectly healthy. Same thing, bad valve, something that could be saved. I mean, the technology inside that hospital will blow your mind. Thank you, Dr. Connors. You know, I told him, I said, God, I'm glad I was nice to you when you were a boy. She said, my rule, I coached for years. I refereed for years. I ran youth athletics for years like my father. Was always be nice to the children, all of them, because they grow up to be men and women, and they might have to save your life. He says, oh yeah, you know, he knew me, young guy. In my heart working, split open, got my heart in his hands, sewing it delicately back together. Wow. I mean, I was in that operating, you know, the first time they went in my arm, down my throat. Whoa, technology exists, yet we have all this. Yet we don't live longer, we live less. That's not even possible. American populace that is so socially engineered into freaking believing their own worst enemy. $20 trillion debt, bail out in the banks, we just keep bailing out. Bail out the nuclear industry over and over. Abid, please allow me to introduce myself. First guy in the towers. First guy they negotiate. So it went like this. Donald, would you please stay with the globalists? We'll make you a monarch, Donald. We cannot let this Fukushima cat out of the bag. You have to keep the Obama Abid greatest lie in human history going. Donald Trump, okay, how much? And he did it. David Vitter should be in a prison cell. Mike Lee should be in a prison cell. All these freaking people should be in prison cells. Lisa Jackson, Barack Obama, but the number one top of the heap, John Holdren. Look him up. Inside the situation, there was a 32-team panel organized. He was a science technologist. Obama turned the keys to him. He's a eugenicist. Wrote us, hey, he's in total hiding. That's the man who killed the Pacific Ocean. To think 2,263 days you can dump this poison. It's never happened before. Bringing star power to Earth, living. Oh, they did it. These mad psychopaths did it. This nuclear energy, nuclear bombs never accomplished one fucking thing anywhere. You know, I'll go back to Hoover when they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He's never in the history of warfare have a fucking innocent populace been genocide. No uniforms, no nothing. This is the greatest evil event. You know, Dorothy Day, true man, I hope it blows through the jet stream and comes over and sucks up into your nostrils and your brain, true man. Same with that fuckhead Obama. That scumbag wannabe, or a Trump fucking scumbags. You know, Bush brother, Bandar brother, Dandar. Fucking The people who flew the towers and funded the 9/11 terrorists. And everything. Fucking Obama says, oh, you can't fucking sue them. That's the only thing Congress got right in years. They overturned that. We'll see. He's over there freaking make a production, want to be fucking royal. You know, royal, Trump. You're a scumbag. Same with Obama. Same with Bush. Fucking scumbag. Fucking Putin played you like a 2-bit fucking bitch. I wore this hat on the 5th of remember the 5th, leading the Million Mass March. Ask somebody who was there what I chanted. I invented that. We knew. Oh, Iron the Group Anonymous. You underestimate me so bad. You know, this path. So I got kicked out Medicaid. 5 different freaking emergency rooms. My teeth started to go. I knew it was my heart. I knew. The only way I collapsed on Easter. I was born on Easter. I'm like, this is it. I came to, I don't know how, I said, I'm stroking out. This is it. Which I don't know how I did. And I got to the hospital. And the attending physician, thank God, knew me. He knew my uncle, Thomas, the incredible heart surgeon. He said, oh my God, Kevin. So he overrode their freaking protocol. And he got me in for the tests. As soon as they put the ultrasound on me a couple days later, like, oh my God, hurry, sit down. So the valve's completely gone, shut, doesn't even work. I opened my chest. I got my bill today. So far, $130,000. But I quote the doctors, everybody, Kevin, hang in there. We'll get this worked out. Hey, don't you worry about the freaking bill. You know, worst case scenario, you go on the payment plan. Yeah. You know, we'll get it handled. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be alive. I was given 2 months to live in the fall, October 2016, with a stomach ache. Told me it was carcinoma cancer in my liver. Finally overrode it. Got into my hip, bone marrow, Vincent. The same man, Thomas, my uncle from the grave, saved me then. You know, he knew me. They knew me since I was a boy, these guys. You know, went into LDS bone marrow transplant with no chance. 5 years of that fight. 5 hardcore fucking, more than 5 years. I went off the list March 3rd. I knew it was too nervous to declare myself better. I knew better. I could feel it in my chest. The last 2 days I've been able to walk a little bit. The first time I haven't felt that burn in my life. And my dreams are strange. Nothing feels the same. Sleep and dream is all I crave. I've traveled far across the Milky Way to my freaking nuclear, genetic, master, I become a slave. You know, till we meet again some other day. You know, I fight for this sea. The fucking numbers are fucking not, remember, I never forget this. Record escapement, 2011, 2012. Record escapement. This is not this. This is a collapse off the cliff. Starving to death sea lions, starving to death orcas, starving to death everything, dead tide pools. 99% sardines and anchovies, big fish eat little fish. They broke the luminescence. This energy is being poured into the Pacific Ocean day in, day out for 6,200. I mean, think about that. 2,260. How's that possible? Everybody thinks it's Japan's a fool. Yalta by the sea. Japan is the 51st state when they divided it up. Stalin and fucking FDR. We took Japan. And we've done nothing but experiment with them to point bombs at China. And freak, look what we've done to that land. Look what we've done to those people. You know, I posted some pictures in 2012 that millions of people in this street. South Korea, millions. Freaking China, millions. They're chanting, we know about Fukushima, going crazy. Their populace is fighting back, laying down their lives. All over this world. This fucking uneconomical, this fucking science fiction fucking experiment gone fucking mad. First they cut down kill the buffalo. I won't stop there. Then they come for the fucking sequoias, cut them down. Oh, this is just inevitable. Humans, no, it's not. Indigenous people lived here for fucking tens of thousands of fucking years in harmony with all of it. It's this brand of human. We're a bunch of sick, self-indulged, evil. I've never fought for this generation. I gave up on this generation many years ago. I've never fought for the fucking baby American boomer, but they don't deserve any of it. I fought for the animals. I fought for the creatures of the sea. I fought for the sea, the mother of all human life. I fought for the children. I fought for the unborn. I don't want to be born with a mutated fucking aortic fucking valve like I was and go through the pain and the horror because I'm still running against the fucking wind every day my whole fucking life. That's just the way it is. You know, and I was warned. But certain people are freaking Freedom Eisenhower in Vienna, Austria, right before she passed. I was the last person she got, probably the most accomplished anti-nuclear activist maybe ever. I spent several hours at her apartment on the 200th anniversary of freaking Waterloo. Kevin, you never picked me. Or I never picked it. You never picked it. It picked you. I know your path for your father. I know your path. And she didn't even tell us she was dying. She died later that year. That amazing person. When she died, that's the difference. The Austrians are both the ex-president and the president spoke at her funeral. The little children freaking come out. They teach it in 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, anti-nuclearism. They know. You know, it's like Annika before she passed. You know, that Ukraine girl. Kevin, I got a Chernobyl necklace when I was 4. I've known this was going to mow me down and kill me. She died at 38. You know, at least I got to stand with you and fight. Don't you cry for me. Because I am you now. You are me now. The fight goes on. Same with my father. Same with Paul. Same with all these people. You know, I get a second chance and a third chance for a reason. You know, they do this to me. That's 2 miracles I've had. So I keep defending the sea. My heart ripped out. You know, we try to heal and mend, and figures don't lie, liars figure. You greedy, selfish motherfuckers. You know, don't give a fuck about the future. Don't give a fuck about the trees, the animals, the birds, the fucking tide pools, the fucking wells, the sills, the fucking God of salmon. First came the God of salmon. Second came water for him to live in. You know, it doesn't matter which God you buy into or which theology you buy into. Fucking to mass murder for your own personal profit, worship the golden calf, that's what you are. And call yourselves Christians. Good luck to that one when you're on the table. Fucking